Yo, Giancarlo Esposito was wilding this weekend, throwing out everyone's favorite fan casting, then capping it all off by saying that he wants to be Professor X. But screw what he wants. What role is really the best fit for Giancarlo? What's up? I'm Kendall with Normies and Nerds. Thanks for stopping by. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel because we're on the grind for our first 1,000 subs. Let's get it. So he brought up Professor X, Doctor Doom, and Magneto. At first, I'll start off with Doctor Doom, and this really doesn't have anything to do with his acting ability because I think Giancarlo has the right stature, attitude, and presence to play someone as complex as Doctor Doom. But here's where I veer off from this bandwagon. I personally would prefer a Doctor Doom who is a bit younger than Giancarlo and would be around the same age as the rest of the superheroes in the MCU, to be real. I think having someone that is the similar age creates a better interaction with people like Reed Richards and Doctor Strange. And bruh, I'm not age discriminating or anything, but it's just my preference. And if he gets the role, I'd honestly have no complaints. But to be honest, it's just that is my least favorite choice out of the three that he brought up, man. And I know he said he wanted to be Professor X, but bruh, what if I told you he's playing the hell out of us, bruh, and he really wants to play Magneto? Look, I'd love to see a Giancarlo Professor X. I really think that he could master that element of eeriness that should come along with someone that plays Professor X, right? Bruh, dude invades people's minds, and we usually don't even think about that as being creepy or even a little villainous to use that on people, especially ones who are not willing. But there's definitely a dark side to the character of Professor X, even though he is ultimately a hero. And bro, I have a feeling that if Giancarlo really wants to play Professor X, that is more so of a thing of saying, I can play other roles too, motherfucker. Which I'm sure he can do, but he needs to be an MCU villain. Also on the other note that I can get it, right? You don't really want to play the villain, you want to play the hero because the heroes get the screen time. The movies are usually about the heroes. So I really do understand that side of things as well. But bruh, be a villain. And that's why Magneto is the perfect choice for Giancarlo. Much like what I said about Doctor Doom, Giancarlo's presence on screen carries that villainous weight and tone of Magneto. On top of that, Magneto and Professor X should be older characters as leaders of their team, right? And even the controversial race swap, which honestly hasn't even been that prominent of a conversation online, makes sense for the story. I mean, look, if you want to be true to the origin and keep Magneto's Holocaust backstory in the MCU, then Magneto would have to be at the very least 80 years old. And if you don't think that's old, have you seen Joe Biden? Look, there are various number of routes that they could go with that story, whether it be the civil rights in America or a number of the other tragedies that have happened in foreign countries. I mean, the one thing that they really just need to nail down, and that's truly the most important thing, is that they show the real reason behind the distrust and hate for humanity that Magneto has. And there are plenty of shitty things that they can use to do that. And really, like I said earlier, he checks all the boxes for the Magneto character when it comes to the vibe, look, and age. So while he could totally be a great pick for those other roles, Magneto is definitely the best fit in my opinion. But wait, I'm not done. What if he's actually even playing us even more and he's not even anybody on that list? Instead, what if he is Power Broker? Look, before you click off, subscribe to the channel and let me break this down, please. Because look, I was really going to say Norman Osborn, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all thought I was going to say that as well. But I'm not sure how much access Sony is going to give Marvel when it comes to that character. Honestly, I feel like Osborn is the best fit out of any of the fan casts that I've seen. But like I said, Sony can be a bit of a petty bitch sometimes, man. Instead, I think this would be a great opportunity for Feige to elevate a lesser known character like Power Broker into MCU god status. And I know, isn't Sharon Carter Power Broker? Nah, bruh. I got the vibes that she's still working for someone. And to be real, if she was truly the Power Broker, I wouldn't see that person being out there in the streets doing the work themselves. And in the comics, the first version of the Power Broker is pretty boring, and the newest version of the Power Broker looks to be extremely cool. And he doesn't really have that much of a history or backstory in Marvel Comics. So I think that leads to the perfect opportunity to have Power Broker be inserted and replace Norman's story in stories like Secret Wars and Dark Avengers. Having Giancarlo Esposito's Power Broker come out and be pretty much the Iron Man of the Thunderbolts. Like, think about him being the one responsible for it all, him being the one that's influencing Val to go out and recruit all of these people, him being the one getting these arms from Sharon Carter, who now has access to all of the arms in the DOD. Like, think about all that stuff and think about how Giancarlo would be leading a team of like Yelena Belova and the Abomination and US Agent. Bro, that's freaking epic to see him at the top of that, and he could be even menacing to be forcing his hand and forcing them to do stuff. But honestly, I think it'll be a couple of years before we even know who he is truly playing. Like, if he's not playing with us at all and he really wants to be Professor X, then I can't see them getting him to do anything else, especially if we have a situation where he doesn't want to play a villain in the MCU to prove a point of his versatility. Also too, Professor X is the role you'd rather have as an actor, to be real. Like I said earlier, being the hero means more screen time. So whether you want to be Professor X or Magneto, if you really want to have that like hero respect, if you really want to have that screen time and have that adoration like people have for RDJ, you play Professor X over Magneto, even though I personally find them to be equally important and equally interesting. But all that to say, the only hang up there is that the news of Marvel not being able to sign anyone new to be a mutant until 2025, that means it could be a while before Giancarlo is really confirmed to be Professor X or Magneto in the MCU. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, who do you think Giancarlo could be playing or will play in the MCU? Also, let me know what you think about my theory on Power Broker. I thought that was an interesting little thing to throw in there. I'm kind of intrigued by it. But let me know it all, and I will catch you in the next video.